just where I am meant to be.
Oh, my soul.
Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here.
And I am
Getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Awakening the Light of Your Genius by Reverend Deborah, and the meditation by Reverend Janee. I'm in the right place at the right time, right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. And I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul
Is welcome.
oh, my soul is welcome. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Everybody's welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul
Is welcome.
I'm getting the message. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul
Is welcome here.
My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Yes, it is. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome. No matter what color, what culture, sexual orientation, or my soul is religious affiliation. My God is many pains. Everybody's welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is
Welcome.
I think there's a ghost in the machine today. More to come.
Good morning, SLC. And good morning, Reverend Deborah.
Good morning, Right Reverend Werewolf.
Yeah.
Have you had your shots?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
We greet you in the name of all the silliness in the world. And all of the and all that is good, all that is sacred, and all that is holy. And in the the warm and living energy of this community, Spiritual Life Center. Spiritual Life Center honors all people worshiping in temples, mosques, churches, stone circles, beautiful temples of nature, because we know there is no space that God does not grace. And if you're with us for the very first time today, whether you're watching us online or here in person, we especially want to welcome you, because we know that you are not here by accident. We know that every single one of us is here by
Divine appointment.
And we're just so grateful for everyone coming together in this way, and that gratitude extends to silencing your electronic devices, and please refrain from flash photography during the service.
Problem is, I can't see out of it. Today's daily word is discover. It's Halloween, almost Halloween, and it's a good time to remember to do shadow work. And we tend to think of shadow work as, the ghoulies and ghosties that we swept under the rug. But if you go back to Carl Jung and early writers about the shadow, it's not just the ghoulies and ghosties. It's also the angels of our better nature that we've also swept under the rug. The things, our light that we somehow feel unworthy and just don't want to admit it to. And Reverend Deborah is going to be talking about a lot that down the road. But to discover is to also discover that light, which is right under the carpet, which we have swept into the shadow also. And the affirmation is, as I discover, I learn and grow. My life is a journey of discovery. Over the years, I may have traveled to other lands, discovering new cultures and landscapes. Through my explorations, I have learned all kinds of things and grown in all kinds of ways. My spiritual life has been a journey of discovery as well. Through my spiritual practice, I have depended I've deepened my understanding of God and myself as a spiritual being. I have discovered new landscapes within myself, and I have communed with God in prayer, and I have changed my life through the power of my thinking. As long as I live, I will find more to discover. Questioning, learning, and growing help me discover the wonders within and all around me. And from the prophet of Jeremiah we hear, "Call to me, and I will answer you, and I will tell you great and hidden things you have not known." Today's daily word is discover. Dear Spirit, help us to discover that light which we may have swept under the rug. Help us to remember that who we truly are is that divine spark within. Thank you for SLC, this beautiful and wonderful city on a hill with a powerful message, not just for Sacramento, but for the world beyond. And for this and so much more, we say thank you and amen and amen. And these words are a reminder of who we are here to be. It's our mission statement. Let's say it together. To transform lives, to make a positive difference in the world as we love, serve, and remember. And we say these 5 powerful unity principles. God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God, and we must take action. So, new?
Same.
Yeah.
Well, new. The same. On Wednesdays, we have the prayer circle that starts at 5:30. It's in the chapel, and we're having about 17 people come to it, and it's a very lovely, quiet half hour that's very, very powerful, so we encourage you to try that out. And then, of course, the community meal is from 6 to 6:45. We ask that you RSVP sometime before 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday, so that the people who are making the food have an idea of how much to bring. It's not a requirement, but it is helpful. And then Reverend Rick and Peg Sorrentino are continuing their Faith in Action Wednesday forum, and so that begins at 7 and it goes to about 8:15 here in the sanctuary. So it's a full Wednesday evening.
Thank you to all who made that Friday night bingo, Halloween bingo, such a big success. Teresa and I really wanted to go. Teresa and I really wanted to go, but there was a Halloween bash at her elementary school, so discretion was the better part of valor. Special thanks to the event sponsors, Bob, Deborah, and Renee Moskowitz, Doug and Nancy Hilton, Marsha McCrimmons, along with the bingo card income. There were 40 participants. It was a sellout, by far our largest so far. You helped raise roughly, or actually more than, $1,300. Big thanks to our bookkeeper and register, Nancy Hilton, decorating team of Becky McPhee and Pam Logan, snacks hostess Susan Dayton. The bingo caller was Elaine Roa, and the logistics crew, Rick and Leslie and Patty Peters. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, if you missed it, and there's still one more bingo left at SLC this year, will be SLC's New Year's Eve bingo. So stay tuned for more information. There was supposed to be a community meeting following this service. It has been rescheduled to December 7th and will be held after the 11 o'clock service. More information will come to you. So December 7th will be the meeting.
And this is your last day to donate the towels to the community action team. They're doing towels for Tail Waggers collection. And yeah, thank you, Sally. Let's get something harder next time. Anyway, this is a wonderful thing that they're doing, and probably if you're already here, you probably already bought your towels, but I still just want to mention it and really commend them. Their idea is to go to at least one shelter, and if they have enough towels, they're going to go to a couple others as well. So thank you so very much for doing this.
We have been asked about the oneness symbol, And we want you to know that we are deeply committed to getting it back up. It needs some refurbishment and some tender love and care, but we are committed to getting it back up. There are so many wonderful artists in our community. If you can help provide that love and care for the symbol, please either speak to Reverend Deborah or speak to me. Some people came up to me after the 9 o'clock service. Our goal is to get that oneness symbol back up as soon as possible.
And we do have the holiday calendar ready. Now, this says to download it from the website, which you can do, but there are printed copies out at the hub if you want to. So this is going to tell you all of the events that are happening between now and the end of the year. So pick that up so you can put all of those things on your to-do list.
In 2 weeks, after the 11 o'clock service, I'm going to be holding another roundtable on Christian nationalism. SLC has such a funny, it's Christian nationalism. They put a slide up of me holding Buddha. That's SLC, love it. But seriously, Christian nationalism is a growing force among many people in our society. This will be a discussion of what is it? What are the figures? How is it growing? This really, I think, is deeply important. Hope to see you at this roundtable on Christian nationalism.
Next week, daylight savings time ends. For those of you who love it, I'm so sorry. For those of you who don't love it, yay! But it also means you have an extra hour next week. So we will be starting at 9 o'clock standard time. So we'll see you then. And also 11 o'clock standard time. So just remember, set your clocks back. Yeah. And of course, there are many things here at Spiritual Life Center that foster transformation. And of course, one of the most important parts of that is prayer. Our prayer chaplains are here to pray with you in times of challenge or in times of celebration. And they love just spending some time with you. So if you would like that kind of contact, they wear the white stoles and they are out in the courtyard.
And we come here for so many reasons. One of them is to be greeted utterly by our cow. Please greet the ghoulies and ghosties as you feel appropriate.
Shout and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. If you can, reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. If you can, just try. Take a little time out of your busy day to try to give encouragement to someone who's lost their way. Or would I be talking to a stone if I asked you to share a problem that's not your own? We can change things if we start giving. Why don't you reach out and touch somebody's hand? Week 4, Faith in Action, and we invite you to take all that good energy and join us in singing, I Got the Power. Join me. Let there be light. Our light shining in the presence and power of Spirit in me. Let there be light. Our light shining in the presence and power of Spirit in me. Let there be light. Our light shining in the presence and power of Spirit in me. Let there be light. Our light shining in the presence and power of Spirit in me. By cosmic design, audaciously fine, I align with my divine identity. So let there be light. Our light shining in the presence and power of Spirit in me. Let there be light. Our light shining in the presence and power of Spirit in me. A pure heart and mind, intentions refine, I align I got the power. Oh, I got the power. I got the power. Thanks to Jesse, I got the power. I got the power. Oh, power, yeah. I got the power to live faithfully. I got the power to forgive and release. I got the power to breathe life to my dreams. I got the power to create reality. I got the power to compare and contrast. I got the power to erase my hurtful past. I got the power to choose a direction, to question my perception. I got the power to be stronger than before, to break through that open door. I got the power to honor all life. I got the power to be peace and harmonize. I got the power to break the chains of habit, to shimmer and dazzle. I got the power, so let there be light.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I've been loving this Faith in Action series for many, many reasons, but one of them really is the artwork and our artists. I think the art which they take a chapter and visually what does it mean to them, or what does it kick off in them, but also their written statements have just been, I think, incredible. And so I've really loved it. Our first artist today is Jim Ward. And Jim writes, when I took this photograph, 3 figures in silhouette against the dancing sunlight on Lake Tahoe, I saw both mystery and meaning. Light is one of the oldest teachers. It reveals and it conceals. It shows us who we are and what we still need to see. In Luminous Life, Joseph Lieberman invites us not to react to light, but to live in relationship with it as awareness itself. The number 3 is linked to light and much more. Body, mind, and spirit. Birth, life, and transformation. And yes, the Holy Trinity. For me, these 3 figures are deeply personal. They could be me and my 2 sons, Jake and Zach, and the love and the light that has shaped our lives. The tallest figure bends towards the others, meeting them at eye level, as I've tried to meet my children and others with humility and respect. In my life's work, protecting and advancing human rights, I've learned that light shines brightest when we see and feel one another fully, whether standing, seated in a wheelchair, or as a little person. When we meet eye to eye, the light between us grows brighter. We love and resolve. Our second artist is Kiki Crawford. Yes. And Kiki writes, when Jacob Israel Lieberman wrote about seeing from a place behind your head, it struck me that this is seeing with the eyes of God and seeing with your inner guidance, your intuition. When I follow my intuition, I follow my dreams and goals. It also helps me to feel and stay safe. When I look at my art piece, I see Mother Earth and my guidance. When I created my art piece, I felt someone or something higher than me guiding me. I was able to create something that reflects the feelings of being safe in my body. When I really see my art piece, I feel calm, proud, and centered. When I see through the eyes of God, I feel empathy and love for people despite their flaws or doubts. I awaken to my genius within. I listen to my guiding spirit. I create my life. I live my light. Thank you to our artists.
And now as we enter into the contemplative portion of our service, we'll begin by speaking out loud together our vision statement. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions, weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom. We cultivate spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet.
Hear me in your heart. I am calling you. Listen to your heart. I am here, calling out your name, whispering your name. Please join me in singing. Hear me in your heart. I am calling you. Listen to your heart. I am here. Hear me in your heart. I am calling you. Listen
As we move into our time of meditation, let's breathe together. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in the vibration of that beautiful chant. Each breath softening. Each breath relaxing your body, quieting your mind, and opening your heart. I've heard it said that music is the language of spirit. And this week, we read that music is the driving force behind intuition, our genius. And we feel that, don't we? Thank you, God, for our musicians who speak God fluently. We open wide to receive as we settle down and settle in. Hear me in your heart. I'm calling you. Listen to your heart. I'm there. Listen. Listen to your heart. I'm there. Place your hand on your heart. Your beautiful, powerful, intelligent heart. And begin breathing through your heart. Breathing in and breathing out. Rest here in your heart space as you breathe. Listen to your heart. God is there. Your God, your genius is there. It's always there. It whispers. It's quiet. It's subtle. So we get quiet. We get still. And we listen. And not just with our ears, but with our entire being. Every cell opening to receive this love, the guidance, the wisdom of who you are at depth. Your heart knows, and it's ready to lead. It's up for the task. It's been waiting for us to remember. We remember. We don't live life. Life lives us. And we make that conscious. Listening to the wisdom of our precious heart. The wisdom that's always there, moving us, guiding us, and opening us to the wonder of life. Settling in deeper into your heart space. Take a deep breath into your heart. Your soul rejoices in your remembrance of this heart wisdom. It whispers, welcome home. Feel the warm embrace of your Creator, your God. There's nothing you have to do. There's nothing you have to find. just relax and notice what's already here. What's been with you since the beginning of time. God is always loving you. The only thing that prevents us from feeling this love is our own self-judgment, our own sense of our worthiness. You are worthy. You are loved. It doesn't matter what you've done. God only knows how to love. So as we move into the silence, we open. We open wide to receive the infinite love of creation pouring into us in this very moment, in the silence. We receive and we remember. We remember that we're here to shine this love into all of creation. Grounded in this love, we meet all of life with love. No matter what it looks like, all of it. We meet it heart first. God's got this. And so do you. Let's love recklessly, my friends. And so it is. Amen.
When you're still, do you hear one small voice, crystal clear, saying, listen here, my friend, listen here. Well, that voice is your own, and it speaks to you alone. You can't count on me, it says, so listen here. This is you. This is real. This is truly the way you feel. You can run. You can hide, oh, but sometime, someplace, each of us winds up face to face with that little voice inside. is real. This is truly the way you feel. You can run, you can hide. Oh, but sometimes, someplace, each of us winds up face to face with that little voice inside. So we hope and we earn and we live and sometimes learn from that little voice that whispers crystal clear, and we each hear the call, 'cause it's calling to us all. Follow me, it says, never fear. Listen here, old friend. Listen here, silly. Listen here.
So Dom, been serenaded by Queen Anne. Twice. And of course, always, thank you, Anne, and thank you for the entire music team, and of course, Janee, for the beautiful meditation. So, here we are, fourth week of Faith in Action. Last Sunday, somebody came up to me and they said, I'm finally starting to like the book, which didn't surprise me because I know the beginning was a little bit tricky. It was pretty sciencey at the beginning, and a lot of people were saying that. And I said, please just hang in there. And I'm really so grateful that you all have, because that book really deserved the chance to be read. One of the best parts of Faith in Action is that this is a season when we're all touching upon the same ideas. Not everybody's reading the book, and not everybody's in a group, in a study group, but just by being here, we're still and hearing the talks, and maybe you're just doing Wednesdays, you're still part of this consciousness that we run for 7 weeks. And the very best part of this season, for me anyway, is hearing your stories. Hearing the ahas that you get from reading the book or having that discussion. So here's my aha. One of them anyway, is that I've always known, the whole thing about light. We need light. And I know about the people who get, sad? They have that serious depression in winter when there's not enough light. I know intellectually all that. But this book and our discussions brought that much, much higher in my consciousness and my awareness. And my husband has been housebound for the better part of this year, and he's only been outside to travel to and from the hospital or to a doctor's appointment. And I knew all this, but last week as I was thinking about how he also doesn't like rainy weather, the lightning bolt finally hit me, and I thought, he needs more light. And so, after a big ran through my living room, I ordered a light therapy lamp. And just, brought it in, set it up, and said, just use it an hour a day or whatever you feel like. And after only one day, but definitely into the second day, I could tell the difference in him. He wasn't up running around the house and all of that, but he was smiling just a little bit. He actually made a joke. He's been using, because he doesn't get up and walk around a lot, they have to bring him his toothbrush, and he's been using these little tubes of toothpaste. And so he said he needed some more. And so I went into the other room and I got one of those ginormous tubes of toothpaste, and I handed it to the caregiver and went in the other room. And I waited, and I wanted to see what he would do. And he said, "Do you think you could get me any more?" Which meant that he was feeling much better. He made a joke. And so the light is making a lot of difference. And I know that this isn't going to completely cure him, but we all know that your mental, mindset, your attitude has a lot to do with how you heal. And so it's at least nice to see him perking up a little bit. And I think he would never really admit it, but he knows it's helping. So all it took was some light, and this dumb moment plays right into the topic for today in our 2 chapters, discovering your genius, and becoming more aware. And we can start with 2 questions. What is the genius of which Lieberman speaks, and why is awareness so important? The chapter on genius starts out reminding us that while we say we create our own reality, there is no reality to create without what Lieberman calls the intuitive guidance that sparked our inspiration in the first place. And then he wonders if we have free will. Now, I don't like that conversation because I really want to have free will. I don't even want to entertain the idea that I don't have free will, which is completely silly because no minister on this earth becomes one of their own free will. No minister becomes a minister of their own free will. Somewhere along the way, spirit, inspiration, God, the force, whatever you call it, comes along and grabs you, sometimes gently, sometimes not so much, and puts you on the path to being ordained. But to me, there is a difference between a choice and a calling. I know many of you also have what you see as a calling. Certainly our musicians have a calling. But there is something that you do or something that simply seems to be who you are and what you are here to do. You say, "This is me. What else would I do?" But is this the action of an external God sitting by the fireplace deciding, like with a remote control, deciding what it wants to do with each person? Which would, of course, mean total lack of free will. Or is it something else? When we look at the research that says that 5% of our cognitive activities, which is decision-making, emotions, and actions, are conscious, while 95% are generated by our unconscious, then I think we have something to talk about. Now we can have the conversation. What we call intuition is our unconscious at work. It is processing and giving us the information. And research subjects actually display decision-making brain activity something like 4 seconds before they're conscious of the decision that's been made. 4 seconds is really a long time when it comes to this. It seems fast to us, but there's a lot going on. Our unconscious does all of the processing, and implementation is left up to the conscious mind. In other words, our intuition, higher self, unconscious really does run us. But does that mean we don't have free will? Does that mean we have no choice at all? Well, I think that depends. If we think that free will means having total control over everything all the time, then no, we don't have free will. If we think free will is our conscious and unconscious joining forces in the creative process, then yes, we do have a say in our lives. I used to say something like, we go from a spark to an idea, to a thought, to manifestation. But Lieberman says it more gracefully. He says, when the conscious mind is illuminated with inspiration via the unconscious mind, it is then galvanized into a state of excitation, followed by an implementation, all of which leads to manifestation. Yeah, how do we do that? We learn to tap into our genius, which, by the way, the word genius was originally defined as the guiding spirit of a person or place. That's so cool. Now think for a minute about the times when you had a situation and had absolutely no idea how to proceed. Now I'm not talking about the big things here. I'm talking about the little everyday stuff. How do I manage my schedule today? How should this conversation happen? There's nothing in the house and I need to make dinner. And then out of nowhere, an idea comes. Inspiration. And you remember that something that you put in the freezer that all you have to do is put it in the microwave. Or you realize that one of those things on your calendar can be moved or removed. Now, Friday night, I was thinking about a meeting that's coming up, and there's a lot to discuss in that meeting. And I was wondering how we could do it efficiently. It was idle thinking, really. I wasn't seriously problem solving. I was just sitting there. And then suddenly, I got the idea to make a different kind of an agenda that categorizes topics. And if I do say, it was brilliant. And I can say that because I didn't sit down and think it up myself. It was brilliant, but it came in through me. I was just musing. My unconscious took it seriously and went to work on it, which is an important thing to remember. Our unconscious takes everything very seriously and very literally. It was an inspired move. But I'm sure that all of you experienced this in your lives at some point. The thing is that we tend to only look at the big stuff, not the little things, like a meeting agenda. And it is the little things that run our day. I always say that we're somehow always prepared for the big things, but it's the shoelaces that get us. A shoelace never warns you, and it always breaks when you have overslept and you're running late. You're never prepared for it. Anyway, finding our genius, and we all have it, begins with recognizing that we are guided by the silent, unconscious, or higher self. I like higher self not because it's better than me, but that it runs at a higher vibration, and thus it gives us access to more ideas, more or less. In New Thought, we say everything is right here, right now. But because our physical bodies function at such a low vibration, we don't have direct access to everything. And thank heavens, really. I mean, if we were consciously aware of everything going on at all vibrational levels, we wouldn't be able to function. I mean, think about how overwhelmed most of us are right now by our fast, digital, unrelenting material world. Being bombarded with everything all the time would render us, well, I want to say ineffectual, but I think really we would just be useless. We'd be just laying on the floor going, I can't do this. And it's been helpful to me. And I think I must have read something several years ago when I came up with this, but it's helpful to me to think of the brain as a transformer. All of this energy, call it thoughts or ideas or whatever, is coming into us, but it's too strong for our physical bodies. So just as transformers step down electricity to a usable level, so our brains do the same thing and protect us. It allows our unconscious to work at the speed of light and then feed in at a rate that we can comprehend. And when you look at it that way, it makes total sense that science is now revealing that our hearts give the brain more instructions than the brain gives to the heart. Thus, the advice to follow your heart becomes more compelling, actually. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I talked about the whole follow your heart fad. That was a good idea as far as it went. But I think when it first began, it was more of a way giving people permission to break away from all their shoulds and have-tos that are installed in us as children. You know, there's a comedian. Her name is Zarna Garg. And if you're on Facebook, you may have seen her. She's from India. And much of her humor revolves around cultural differences and being an immigrant. And one of the best that I've seen recently is she said she's standing there and she's talking about my son. She says, my son, and he came to me and he said, what are my pronouns? What are my pronouns? Am I a him? Am I a he? What are my pronouns? And she says, you are Indian. Your pronoun is doctor. We are all products of our culture and upbringing, and it all lives in the 95% that is unconscious, and it runs us. I mean, this is not new. I mean, this is something that we talk about in New Thought all the time, but the way we're talking about it here just gives us a little more light in a different direction. But this is also why Lieberman says that awareness is curative. As we become more aware of and open to other possibilities in our lives, we can heal, and our circumstances can absolutely shift. And in the book, he gives an example of this woman that he was working with, and he thought that they were making all kinds of progress. And she's going, no, no, no. And finally, he just realized that she could not imagine a way of living without her problem. She couldn't let the problem go. She needed it. And I think that can be difficult for a lot of us a lot of the time because, when we live with a situation long enough, it does become part of our identity. Now, I only smoked for a few years, and I quit at the age of 20, actually. But even then, I realized that part of what I needed to change was that I saw myself as a smoker. It was part of my identity. I was young and flexible, and I didn't even really enjoy smoking. It was just the thing that people did then. But that small identity change took some awareness and consideration. It was a big aha for me. And yes, I was 20. I was in therapy, and so that helped. I wasn't quite that aware at the time. But I realized that I actually saw myself, this was part of my identity, and I needed to change that. Lieberman says that guidance that emerges from our unconscious provides a level of pure awareness that has the potential to be profoundly curative because it comes from the same source that activates and regulates the entire universe. He calls it pure awareness. Our conscious mind is full of beliefs, and it tells us fascinating stories about that are all based on erroneous information. Our beliefs have more impact on our health and well-being than any actual experience that we've had. And an example of that is many people have experienced divorce. And in one respect, divorce is all the same. There's divorce, there's a split up, it's a divorce. Yet, each person develops a belief around the experience. One person feels happy and liberated, and another is devastated and decides their life is ruined. Both responses come out of the person's belief system. And to be sure, it is a system because one belief builds on another and creates a full system from which the conscious mind functions. So Lieberman says that belief is the opposite of truth. In our teaching, truth with a capital T is the unchanging, eternal force beneath all life. And what we call truth with a lowercase t is just earthly facts that change in an instant. There's the fact that you're all sitting here listening to me right now. Well, I'm assuming you're listening. In a few minutes, you'll all be getting up and walking out the door. And in fact, the reality will change as soon as I walk down and someone else comes up. It's changing all the time. The catch is, I guess, is that we need to become aware of our beliefs. Like the patients discussed in the book, the people who woke up to what they were carrying in their belief systems were ones who experienced more healing. These people began to unravel their belief system, to look at the world in a different way. And when they started to see differently, they became more aware, which of course begs the question, what is awareness? Awareness is much more than seeing what is happening with the conscious mind. Pure awareness is transcendent. Pure awareness is when the mental I dissolves and we are in a state of no mind, when we are not thinking or discerning or judging. We just are. That doesn't mean that your mind is blank. It just means you just are. Intuition, our inner genius, is always with us and it's always guiding us. And the more we are aware we are of our intuition, the more we can have an effect on how our lives manifest. We'll never be in full conscious control of our lives. And at least in my case, this is a good thing because I certainly should not be left out here without supervision. I need supervision. Yeah. At first, I thought it was kind of interesting that the chapter on awareness came after the chapter on genius. But the more I thought about it, I could see that it's helpful to know something intellectually before trying to integrate it. So learning about intuition and what it is and how it works would logically become before awareness because it's like, well, why do I be aware? Well, because of this. We say listen to your intuition, and you can say how, and then we say by becoming aware. But becoming aware is not really an intellectual endeavor. In fact, the more you try to force it, the less aware you will be, and you'll find yourself trying way too hard at everything. But at the beginning, somebody needs to tell us what to become aware of, or more accurately, simply that we need to become more aware. Our unconscious is our shadow. It's not a negative, it's simply unknown. And by becoming more aware that we have an unconscious that carries 95% of our consciousness, we can begin to listen to the activity of the unconscious by seeing, hearing, and feeling differently. You know, meditation is not tuning out, it's tuning in, it is listening. Look with different eyes. Listen with different ears. Pay attention to the little hints. I say this because, of course, the hard hints are hard to ignore. But the little ones, listen to those. You know, that feeling that you should go to a certain store and you walk in and the very thing that you thought you would have a hard time finding is standing on the rack right in front of you. And it's on sale. When you feel like taking a different route to your destination and later you find out that there was a fatal accident right in the spot where you would have been. When something doesn't feel right and you call a friend only to find them in emotional distress. When you don't know what to do in a situation and you have an inspiration to do or say what turns out to be the perfect thing. These will seem like small things, but they're not small. They are the flow of life. And when these happen, you realize that you listened to guidance. It's easy to miss. You see, it's possible to function in this material world and be in touch with higher vibration at the same time. It's not necessary to forsake the world to become spiritual. In fact, when your conscious and unconscious are co-creating, you are in balance and life flows oh so well. Will most of us be in that place most of the time? Probably not. But each time we follow intuition, we learn to trust it just a little bit more. And trust is the most important part here. You won't listen or see if you don't trust. Trust is built through experience. And as you learn to trust, you will rely on the inner voice more and not build your belief system purely on experience. And that might sound contradictory, but that's how it works. Now, I'm going not to go into this now, but if you have a chance, watch the movie called Nonas. Has anybody heard of this movie, Nonas? It's the Italian word for grandmas. It is a true story. I'm not going to go into it at all, but it's based on a true story, and it is the very best example of trusting intuition I have seen in a really long time. It's a lovely movie. It does have a happy ending, so you can go home and just relax. And I don't remember if it's on Prime or Netflix. It's on one of the two. But just, if you really question this, watch this. Trust your inner voice. Trust your intuition. Trust your heart. Intuition talks to you from the heart. Remember these words from our meditation chant, and they will help you to learn to listen, to see, and to trust. Hear me in my heart. Hear me in your heart. I am calling you. Hear me in your heart. I am calling your name. Hear me. The one source knows your name. Your name. And it holds you in the palm of its energetic hand. And so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Deborah. And I think it was very appropriate that this was given at Halloween, because when we think of, oh yeah, doing shadow work, we think, oh yeah, it's just the ghoulies and the ghosties. We've also swept gold under the rug in that shadow too, and there's a lot of gold there to be mined. As part of the Faith in Action series, we say an affirmation after the message. We've been practicing a very ancient ritual called Lectio Divina, divine reading. We say the affirmation, then we meditate. We say the affirmation again, and again we meditate. We say it a third time, and again we meditate. And the very interesting thing, and I've seen this happen so many times, is that each time we're doing this, a different word or something comes alive to us. So let's give it a try. Let's say this together. I awaken to my genius within. I listen to my guiding spirit. I create my life. I live my light. I awaken to my genius within. I listen to my guiding spirit. I create my life. I live my light. I awaken to my genius within. I listen to my guiding spirit. I create my life. I live my light. And so it is. Next week, I will be giving the message. We'll continue on the Lieberman book, Faith in Action and Luminous Life. We'll be looking at making the dark conscious. Making the dark conscious. See you then. If you're watching us online, you can go to slcworld.org, click on the Connect button, and fill out the card. This will let us know that you are watching us, and we can also keep you informed of the happenings at SLC. For those of you who are here today in person, in a moment we will ask you to raise your hand. We will give you a welcome card to fill out, and you can take it to our welcome table in the courtyard to receive a warm welcome and a special gift. So if you are here for the first time, could you please raise your hand? We see two, yes. Here comes, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Please take that to the welcome table out in the courtyard. You have, Jim Rosemurgy, a wonderful Unity minister, wrote a book called Even Mystics Have to Pay Bills. So we are now have an opportunity to support Spiritual Life Center. You can text SLC Love to 44321 or go to our website and click the donate button. You can also mail in your love offerings. Snail mail's a little slower than it's been, but it still works. And if you are online and want to spread this consciousness, click like, comment, share, and subscribe. Quite frankly, a shout out to RJ. RJ is putting, I think, tremendous stuff on Facebook about what's going on around here. For example, if you read a blog, I do a weekly blog, which I guess is sent to most of you, or not all of you. If you get it, if you like it, share, click, like, or send, the old-fashioned way, actually email it to a friend, as it were. Believe me, algorithms at United Way, we would get, very high rankings because of, there were over 2,000 United Ways around the world, and they were all clicking, liking, and whatever, and the algorithm does work. So to get our message, and I think our message is so important given what we're going through, please click like, et cetera, if, obviously, if you agree with it. So we come to the offering, and we come to the offering blessing. Let's say this together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
searching for love all my life. I couldn't find it, always one step behind it. Now I know it was mine all the time. Finally, I am headed in the right direction. I can see the light of day. I've got love as my protection. There's no need for me to be afraid. Spent so much time with my head in the clouds, I couldn't see what was happening to me. Now that I've got my feet on the ground, I have found that I am headed in the right direction. I can see the light of day. I've got faith and intuition telling me that I will be okay. Down the path that I walk, there's a light. Somebody told me that it looked like I'm glowing, and it dried all the tears from my eyes. Now I can see I am headed in the right direction. I can see the light of day. I have found my pearl of wisdom. There's no need for me to be afraid. Headed in the right direction. I have found my inspiration. Headed in the right direction. I'm headed in the right direction. I'm not afraid. I can face my shadow. Headed in the right direction. It's all about awareness. It's all about acceptance. Headed in the right direction. I found my inspiration. Headed in the right direction. Yeah, angels showing me the way.
Dear Spirit, we are utterly glad. You're really milking those jokes. To be in royal presence. We commoners, thank you. Thank you, seriously, for the prayers in our prayer box and the prayers that are on people's hearts. Help them to know that they truly are one with the One, and that divine wisdom and intuition is flowing through them. We thank you for the time, treasure, and talent that is invested in Spiritual Life Center. If it weren't for volunteers, this place would shut down in a heartbeat. Thank you for this wonderful fall harvest that we know is bountiful in so many ways. And for this and so much more, we say thank you and amen and amen. And we also say that wonderful prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is. I am, and all is well.
And let's sing the peace song. I command you to sing the peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace, oh, let it begin with me. Let this be the moment now. Let this be the moment. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let it begin with me.
You're going to be in for a real treat. Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. And then join us out at the courtyard for fellowship.
she just wants some more. I think you better call